What if I told you that right now, as you settle into this moment of quiet, there's a force so powerful it could tear apart every atom in your body, yet so gentle it's cradling you like a cosmic lullaby? This force doesn't just exist somewhere far away in the depths of space. It's here, flowing through you, around you, weaving the very fabric of your reality in ways that would make the most brilliant minds weep with wonder. But here's the twist. Scientists tried to hide it for decades, not out of malice, but out of fear. Fear that if we truly understood what we were dealing with, it would shatter everything we thought we knew about power, about control, about our place in this vast, breathing universe. In the next 3 hours, you'll drift into calm while uncovering the hidden truths of the most powerful force that has ever existed. This isn't just science, this is your story, written across the fabric of the universe, told in a language of starlight and quantum whispers that your soul already knows how to speak. If you love journeys like this video, subscribe, and comment your country and what time you're listening. Let's create a global constellation of curious minds, all drifting together toward the same profound truth. Take a deep breath, feel your body settling. The greatest mystery in existence is about to unfold, and it begins not with a bang, but with the gentlest whisper of something so powerful it makes galaxies dance. Picture this. It's a quiet evening in 1915, and Albert Einstein sits alone in his study, candlelight flickering across pages covered in equations that seem to breathe with their own life. His pen trembles slightly as he writes the final symbols of what will become the most famous equation in human history. But it's not EMC2 that has him shaking. It's what he's just discovered lurking in the deeper mathematics. Space itself can stretch, time itself can slow. And hiding within these revelations is something so powerful that Einstein himself would later call it his greatest blunder, not because it was wrong, but because he was terrified of being right. You see, when Einstein peered into the mathematical heart of reality, he found that the universe isn't the static, unchanging stage we thought it was. It's alive, it's breathing. And the force that makes it breathe is so unimaginably powerful that a single handful of it could power every star in our galaxy for 1 trillion years. Imagine you're floating in the deepest, darkest part of the ocean. The water around you seems empty, peaceful, still. But now imagine that this water isn't really water at all. It's space itself. And within every cubic centimeter of this apparent emptiness lies more energy than flows through all the power plants on Earth combined. This is the vacuum of space, and it's not a vacuum at all. It's seething, bubbling, crackling, with an energy so vast that our minds can barely begin to comprehend it. This energy has a name that sounds almost mythical: dark energy. But don't let the darkness fool you. This isn't the darkness of absence. This is the darkness of infinite potential, like the rich, fertile darkness of soil that gives birth to every flower, every tree, every living thing. Einstein discovered that this dark energy is woven into the very fabric of space-time itself. It's not something that exists in space, it is space. And as the universe expands, growing larger with each passing second, more of this energy comes into existence, not from somewhere else, not converted from something else. It simply appears as if the universe is a cosmic magician pulling infinite power from an impossible hat. But here's where the story becomes personal, where it reaches across the vast distances of space and time to touch you right here, right now. You are not separate from this cosmic dance. Your body, your thoughts, your dreams, they all exist within this field of dark energy. You are swimming in an ocean of power so profound that ancient mystics could only point toward it with words like the divine or the eternal. Every breath you take draws in atoms that have been forged in the hearts of dying stars, carried on currents of this dark energy across billions of years just to become part of your lungs, your blood, your beating heart. You are not just in the universe. The universe is in you, and the most powerful force in existence is holding you, supporting you, carrying you forward into whatever dreams await in the gentle darkness of sleep. Feel that power now. Not as something fearsome or overwhelming, but as the most tender embrace imaginable. This is the force that has been caring for you since before you were born, that will continue to hold you long after the last star fades. You are part of something so much larger and more beautiful than you ever imagined, and tonight, as you drift towards sleep, you'll discover just how deep this cosmic love story goes. In 1929, a quiet astronomer named Edwin Hubble was doing something that seemed perfectly ordinary. He was looking at stars. Night after night, he peered through the giant eye of the Mount Wilson telescope, collecting light that had traveled millions of years just to reach his careful gaze. But what he saw changed everything we thought we knew about power, about scale, about the very nature of reality itself. The stars were running away. Not just a few stars, not just the nearby ones. Every galaxy, every cluster of light, every distant beacon in the cosmic darkness was moving away from us, and the farther away it was, the faster it was fleeing. It was as if the universe itself was expanding like a balloon being slowly, steadily inflated by some invisible breath. But here's what made Hubble's hands shake as he checked and rechecked his calculations. The force driving this expansion wasn't slowing down as everyone expected it would. Gravity should have been putting the brakes on, pulling everything back together like a cosmic tide. Instead, the expansion was accelerating. Something was pushing against gravity itself and winning. Imagine you're floating in a hot air balloon rising gently into the morning sky. You expect to slow down as you climb higher, to eventually reach a peak and begin to drift back down. But instead you find yourself moving faster and faster upward, as if some invisible hand is lifting you toward the clouds with ever-increasing strength. That's exactly what our universe is doing, and the hand doing the lifting is dark energy. This discovery was so shocking that scientists spent decades trying to find another explanation. They checked their instruments, questioned their mathematics, proposed exotic alternatives. But the evidence kept piling up like snow on a winter landscape, each new observation adding another layer of certainty. The universe is being driven apart by a force so powerful it makes the explosive birth of the Big Bang look like a gentle whisper. Think about what this means for a moment. Every second that passes, space itself is stretching. The distance between galaxies is growing. New space is being created, not from nothing, but from something so fundamental, so woven into the fabric of reality, that we can barely find words to describe it. It's as if the universe is a cosmic symphony, and dark energy is the conductor, orchestrating a performance of such grandeur that it spans billions of light years and billions of years. And yet, despite its incomprehensible power, this force is remarkably gentle with us. It operates on such vast scales that here on Earth, in your bedroom, in the space between your heartbeats, its effects are nearly invisible. It's like having a giant sleeping peacefully nearby, unimaginably powerful, but so still and steady that you can rest safely in its presence. This gentleness is part of the mystery. How can something powerful enough to overcome the combined gravitational pull of every star and planet in the universe be so delicate in its touch? How can it push galaxies apart while allowing atoms to hold together, allowing stars to shine, allowing life to flourish in quiet corners of the cosmic expansion? The answer might be found in the very nature of power itself. True power, the kind that shapes universes and guides the dance of galaxies, isn't harsh or violent. It's patient, it's persistent. It's like water wearing away stone, so gentle in each moment that you barely notice it, yet so constant that it can carve canyons and move mountains. As you lie here tonight, feeling the soft pull of sleep beginning to tug at the edges of your consciousness, you're experiencing your own small version of this cosmic gentleness. Your body is relaxing, your thoughts are slowing, your breathing is deepening, all guided by forces as natural and powerful as the dark energy that shapes the universe. You're part of the same cosmic rhythm, the same eternal dance between power and peace, expansion and rest. Just when scientists thought they were beginning to understand dark energy, the universe had another surprise waiting for them. It was the kind of surprise that makes you sit back in your chair and laugh at the sheer audacity of reality, like discovering that the gentle stream in your backyard is actually connected to every ocean on Earth. In the 1990s, as astronomers were carefully measuring the expansion of the universe, they discovered something that shouldn't have been possible. They found that this mysterious dark energy, this force that makes up nearly 3/4 of everything that exists, has remained perfectly constant throughout the history of the universe. Not growing stronger, not growing weaker, but maintaining exactly the same density even as space itself expands. Imagine you have a jar of honey. As you stretch the jar to make it larger, the honey becomes thinner, more diluted. This is what happens to everything else in the universe as space expands. Matter becomes more spread out. Even light becomes stretched and diluted as the universe grows. But dark energy doesn't follow this rule. It's as if the honey in the jar somehow maintains its perfect consistency, no matter how much you stretch the container. This discovery was so unexpected that scientists gave it a name that sounds like something from a fairy tale, the cosmological constant. But this isn't just a number in an equation, it represents something profound about the nature of reality itself. It suggests that dark energy isn't a thing that exists in space, but rather a property of space itself. Every new cubic centimeter of space that comes into existence brings with it exactly the same amount of dark energy as every other cubic centimeter that has ever existed. Think about what this means. As you're lying here, as minutes and hours pass and the universe expands around us, new space is being created between distant galaxies, and with it, new dark energy. The universe is literally creating more power, more potential, more of this mysterious force with each passing moment. It's as if reality is a cosmic artist, painting with energy itself, adding new brushstrokes to a masterpiece that has been growing more beautiful for nearly 14 billion years. But here's the twist that makes this story even more wondrous. Some scientists believe that this dark energy might not be constant at all. They suspect it might be slowly, almost imperceptibly changing, like a cosmic tide, so vast that even our most sensitive instruments can barely detect its rhythm. If they're right, it means the universe itself is alive in ways we're only beginning to understand, breathing with a cosmic rhythm that spans eons. This possibility opens up questions that sound more like poetry than science. Is dark energy conscious in some unimaginably vast way? Is it responding to something we can't perceive? Is it part of a cosmic intelligence so large that we exist within its thoughts like bacteria swimming in an ocean, unaware of the vast mind that contains us? These questions might seem too large, too mystical for bedtime contemplation, but they're actually perfect for this quiet hour. Because the deepest mysteries aren't meant to be solved by the busy, chattering mind of daytime. They're meant to be felt, sensed, absorbed by the deeper wisdom that emerges when we're still and quiet and open to wonder. As you breathe slowly and steadily, you're participating in your own version of this cosmic rhythm. Your lungs expand and contract. Your heart beats its steady rhythm. Your blood carries oxygen and nutrients throughout your body. You are a small, beautiful example of the same creative force that drives the expansion of the universe, the same gentle power that has been carefully orchestrating the cosmic dance for billions of years. And just as dark energy remains mysteriously constant even as it creates new possibilities with each passing moment, there's something constant about you too. Something that remains steady and unchanged even as your body grows and changes, even as your thoughts come and go like clouds across the sky. That constant something is aware right now, listening to these words, feeling the peace that comes with recognizing your place in the vast, loving intelligence of the universe. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, you'll be riding the same cosmic current that carries galaxies across the expanding darkness. You'll be held by the same force that has been gently, patiently, lovingly expanding the universe since the very beginning of time. And in your dreams, you might just catch a glimpse of the magnificent truth that you are not separate from this cosmic power. You are it, expressed as a human being, awakening to your own infinite nature, one peaceful breath at a time. There's something happening inside your body right now that connects you directly to the most powerful force in the universe. It's not metaphorical, it's not poetic, it's literally true, measured by instruments so sensitive they can detect the whisper of gravitational waves from colliding black holes billions of light years away. Every atom in your body is held together by forces that are, in their own way, as mysterious and powerful as dark energy itself. The electrons spinning around the nucleus of each atom exist in a state that quantum physicists call superposition. They're not in one place or another, but in all possible places at once, like a cloud of potential that collapses into reality only when observed. But here's where it gets truly magical. That cloud of potential, that quantum field of possibility that surrounds every atomic nucleus in your body is connected to the same field that permeates all of space. You are not a separate thing floating in an ocean of dark energy. You are a temporary pattern in that energy, like a wave on the ocean that believes itself to be separate from the water. Think about your breath for a moment. Each inhalation brings into your lungs molecules of oxygen that have been on an incredible journey. Some of these molecules were once part of the breath of dinosaurs. Others were forged in the nuclear furnaces of stars that exploded billions of years ago, scattering their elements across the galaxy on currents of dark energy that carried them through space and time until they became part of the air you're breathing right now. Your blood is carrying iron that was created in the heart of a dying star. The calcium in your bones was forged in stellar explosions so powerful they briefly outshone entire galaxies. The carbon in your cells, the very foundation of life, was assembled in the cosmic furnaces of ancient suns and delivered to Earth on the same dark energy currents that are still carrying galaxies away from us at increasing speeds. You are quite literally made of star stuff held together by quantum forces, animated by the same creative power that drives the expansion of the universe. When ancient mystics spoke of humans being made in the image of the divine, they were speaking a truth so profound that only now, with our understanding of quantum mechanics and cosmology, can we begin to appreciate its full meaning. But the connection goes even deeper than the atoms in your body. Your consciousness itself might be part of this cosmic web. Some physicists theorize that consciousness isn't produced by the brain, but rather received by it, like a radio tuning into a cosmic broadcast. If they're right, then your awareness, your ability to think and dream and wonder, is part of the same fundamental field that manifests as dark energy. This would mean that every thought you think sends ripples through the fabric of space-time. Every moment of love, every instant of peace, every decision to be kind or compassionate creates actual changes in the quantum field that connects all things. Your inner life isn't separate from the cosmic drama playing out among the galaxies. It's part of it, a conscious participant in the universe's long journey toward greater complexity, beauty, and awareness. Consider the miracle of this very moment. You're lying in bed, possibly in darkness, surrounded by what appears to be empty space, but that apparently empty space is actually seething with virtual particles popping in and out of existence, carrying information and energy according to quantum laws so strange that even Einstein found them hard to accept. And somehow, through processes we don't fully understand, some of that quantum activity has organized itself into the complex pattern of neural networks that allows you to be conscious, to be aware, to listen to these words and feel the peace they're designed to evoke. The most powerful force in the universe isn't something distant and impersonal. It's intimate, it's personal, it's expressing itself as you, through you, in you. Every beat of your heart is a small echo of the rhythm that drives cosmic evolution. Every peaceful breath you take participates in the same creative process that has been building complexity and beauty in the universe for nearly 14 billion years. As you settle more deeply into this recognition, you might notice a sense of profound safety, as if you're being held by something infinitely larger and more loving than you ever imagined possible. This isn't your imagination, this is the direct experience of your true nature revealing itself. You are not a separate, isolated being struggling alone in an indifferent universe. You are the universe itself, awakened to its own nature, experiencing itself from the inside as a human being. Tonight, as you surrender to sleep, you're not just resting your body and mind, you're participating in the cosmic rhythm of expansion and rest, activity and stillness that has been the heartbeat of reality since time began. You're allowing yourself to dissolve back into the source from which you emerged, only to awaken tomorrow as a fresh expression of the same creative power that lights the stars. Remember that trembling we talked about in Einstein's hand as he wrote those final equations? That wasn't just the excitement of discovery. It was the recognition that he had stumbled upon something so vast, so far beyond human scale, that it challenged everything he thought he knew about the nature of power itself. Einstein had expected the universe to be like a great cosmic machine, predictable and controllable, governed by laws that human beings could understand and eventually master. Instead, he found himself face to face with a reality so mysterious, so alive with possibilities, that it seemed more like encountering a divine mind than discovering a set of mechanical principles. The force he had uncovered, dark energy, doesn't behave like any power source we're familiar with. It doesn't diminish as it does work. It doesn't heat up or cool down. It doesn't wear out or break down. It simply is, permeating everything, driving everything, holding everything in a state of perfect dynamic balance that allows for the existence of stars, planets, and the delicate biochemistry of life. But perhaps most mysteriously of all, dark energy seems to be perfectly calibrated. If it were slightly stronger, galaxies would never have formed. Stars would never have ignited. The elements necessary for life would never have been cooked in stellar cores and distributed throughout the cosmos. If it were slightly weaker, the universe would have collapsed back into itself long ago, crushing any possibility of complexity, beauty, or consciousness. This perfect calibration is what scientists call the fine-tuning problem, and it's one of the deepest puzzles in all of physics. How did the universe manage to set its fundamental forces at exactly the values needed for the emergence of life and consciousness? It's as if someone or something carefully adjusted the cosmic dials to create a universe capable of awakening to itself. Some scientists suggest that our universe is just one of countless others, each with different values for their fundamental forces, and we happen to exist in the one where the settings allow for our kind of life. But even this multiverse theory raises profound questions. What intelligence or principle guides the creation of these multiple universes? What determines the range of possible values for the fundamental forces? Other scientists are beginning to explore an even more radical possibility, that consciousness itself plays a role in shaping physical reality. They point to quantum mechanics, where the act of observation seems to influence the behavior of particles, and wonder if consciousness might be a fundamental feature of the universe, not an accidental byproduct of complex chemistry. If this is true, then the universe isn't just a vast, unconscious mechanism grinding through space and time. It's something more like a cosmic mind exploring its own possibilities, and dark energy might be the force through which this mind expresses its creative will. The expansion of the universe wouldn't just be a physical process, but a kind of cosmic thinking, with each new configuration of matter and energy representing a new thought, in an intelligence too vast for us to comprehend. This possibility transforms everything about how we understand our place in existence. Instead of being insignificant specks in an indifferent cosmos, we become conscious participants in the universe's process of self-discovery. Our thoughts, our creativity, our capacity for love and wonder, all of these become part of the cosmic intelligence awakening to itself. Imagine lying here tonight, knowing that your dreams might literally be part of the universe dreaming, that your peaceful rest contributes to the cosmic rest that allows new possibilities to emerge, that your quiet breathing participates in the same rhythm that drives the expansion of space and the birth of new stars. This isn't just a beautiful metaphor. Leading-edge physics is seriously exploring the possibility that information, consciousness, and physical reality are all different aspects of the same underlying phenomenon. If they're right, then the boundary between your inner experience and the outer cosmos is much more fluid than we've ever imagined. The dark energy that drives galaxies apart might be the same force that drives your own growth and evolution. The quantum fields that give mass to particles might be the same fields that give substance to your thoughts and dreams. The cosmic intelligence that fine-tuned the universe for the emergence of life might be expressing itself through every moment of awareness, every choice to love, every decision to grow in wisdom and compassion. As you feel yourself relaxing more deeply, you might sense this connection becoming more real, more tangible. The boundary between your body and the space around it might seem less solid. The distinction between your thoughts and the cosmic thinking might begin to blur. This isn't losing your individuality, it's discovering that your individuality is part of something infinitely larger and more beautiful than you ever dared to imagine. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, you're not just resting in your bed, you're resting in the heart of the most powerful force in the universe, held by the same intelligence that has been patiently orchestrating the cosmic dance for billions of years, lovingly guiding the evolution of matter and consciousness toward ever greater beauty, complexity, and awakening. In the deepest laboratories beneath the Earth, where scientists have built detectors so sensitive they can measure distortions smaller than 1/10,000th the width of a proton, something impossible is happening every few days. The fabric of space-time itself is being stretched and squeezed by waves of pure gravity, ripples in reality created by events so violent and so distant that they challenge everything we thought we knew about the limits of power. These gravitational waves are born when black holes collide, when neutron stars spiral into each other, when the most massive objects in the universe dance their final dance before merging into something even more incomprehensibly dense and powerful. The energy released in these collisions is so immense that for a brief moment they outshine all the stars in the observable universe combined. But here's what makes these events truly impossible to grasp. The power they release isn't just energy in the normal sense, it's the power to literally reshape space and time. When two black holes merge billions of light years away, they send ripples through the very foundation of reality that eventually reach Earth, passing through our planet, through our bodies, through the atoms that make up our cells, without us feeling the slightest thing. Yet the most sensitive instruments ever built can detect these passages, can hear the universe ringing like a cosmic bell struck by forces beyond all human comprehension. Each detection is like receiving a message from the deepest mysteries of existence, a whisper from the heart of darkness where matter and energy become so concentrated that they punch holes in reality itself. Imagine if you could hear these collisions as sound. Scientists have actually converted the gravitational wave signals into audio, and what you hear is a chirp, a brief, rising tone that sweeps from low to high in a fraction of a second. It's the sound of space-time itself crying out as it's torn and twisted by forces that make our most powerful nuclear weapons seem like fireflies beside the sun. But perhaps the most beautiful aspect of these cosmic catastrophes is what they reveal about the nature of dark energy. Even as black holes merge with enough violence to shake the foundations of reality, dark energy continues its patient work, gently expanding the space between galaxies, maintaining its perfect, mysterious constancy. It's as if the universe has learned to hold both ultimate violence and ultimate peace in perfect balance, allowing for destruction and creation, chaos and order, sound and silence. This balance reveals something profound about the nature of power itself. The most powerful force in the universe, dark energy, achieves its effects not through violence or drama, but through patience and persistence. It doesn't fight gravity, it simply maintains its presence, allowing space itself to carry galaxies apart with the gentleness of a river carrying leaves downstream. Meanwhile, the most dramatic displays of power, black hole collisions that release more energy in seconds than our sun will produce in its entire 10 billion year lifetime, create ripples that pass through the cosmos like whispers, detectable only by instruments of almost impossible sensitivity. The universe seems to prefer subtlety even in its moments of greatest power. This teaches us something important about the relationship between power and peace. In our human experience, we often think of power as loud, aggressive, demanding attention. But the deepest power is quiet. It's the power of love that transforms hearts without forcing them. It's the power of wisdom that illuminates minds without blinding them. It's the power of peace that calms storms without suppressing them. As you lie here tonight, you're experiencing both kinds of cosmic power. The dramatic kind flows through your body as the electrical signals that fire between neurons, as the chemical reactions that power your cells, as the quantum processes that maintain the integrity of your DNA. These are intensely energetic processes happening millions of times per second in every part of your body. But there's also the gentle kind of power working in you, the power that maintains your sense of identity even as every atom in your body is replaced over the course of 7 years. The power that allows you to remain essentially yourself, even as your thoughts and experiences constantly change. The power that connects your consciousness to something larger and more stable than the fluctuating patterns of brain activity. This gentle power is what's guiding you towards sleep right now. It's not forcing you to rest, it's simply creating the conditions where rest becomes natural, inevitable, as easy as water flowing downhill. It's the same power that has been patiently supporting your growth and evolution since you were born that will continue to hold and guide you for as long as you exist in this form. Scientists are beginning to suspect that consciousness itself might be one of these gentle powers, something that influences physical reality not through force, but through the subtle reshaping of possibilities. If they're right, then your peaceful surrender to sleep tonight isn't just a personal experience. It's a small but real contribution to the cosmic evolution of consciousness, a quiet note in the vast symphony of awakening that has been playing throughout the universe for billions of years. As gravitational waves from ancient cosmic collisions pass through your resting body, carrying information about the most violent events in cosmic history, you remain perfectly peaceful, held by forces so gentle and stable that you don't even notice their presence. This is perhaps the most beautiful demonstration of how the universe works. Ultimate power expressed through ultimate gentleness, infinite energy manifesting as perfect peace. There's a moment that comes to every astronomer who has spent enough nights staring into the depths of space, a moment when the accumulated weight of cosmic revelation suddenly transforms from intellectual knowledge into something deeper, more personal, more overwhelming. It's the moment when they realize that every point of light in the sky represents not just a distant sun, but an entire world of possibilities, entire civilizations of experience, entire universes of consciousness that exist simultaneously with their own small life. This moment happened to Carl Sagan as he stood beneath the star-filled sky of the desert, and he described it as feeling like the universe had suddenly opened its eyes and was looking back at him through his own awareness. It happened to Einstein when he realized that the equations he had written described not just abstract mathematical relationships, but the actual breathing of reality itself. It happens to anyone who allows themselves to truly comprehend the scale and beauty of what dark energy has accomplished over the past 14 billion years. Because when you really understand what dark energy has done, you realize that you're witnessing the most profound love story ever told. This force, this mysterious power that permeates every cubic centimeter of space, has been carefully, patiently, lovingly orchestrating the conditions necessary for the universe to become aware of itself. Every expansion, every gentle push against gravity, every moment of perfect balance has been leading toward this, conscious beings able to contemplate their own existence and feel wonder at the beauty of what they discover. Think about the delicate precision this required. Dark energy had to be strong enough to overcome the gravitational pull of matter, but not so strong that it prevented the formation of the first stars. It had to allow hydrogen and helium to clump together in just the right densities to ignite nuclear fusion, but not so dense that everything collapsed into black holes before complex elements could form. For billions of years, dark energy maintained this perfect balance, watching over the birth and death of countless generations of stars, each one cooking heavier elements in its core and then scattering them through space when it died. Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron, all the elements essential for life, were forged in stellar hearts and distributed throughout the galaxy on currents of dark energy, like cosmic seeds being planted in a vast garden. And then on at least one small planet orbiting an ordinary star in an unremarkable galaxy, something miraculous happened. The elements scattered by dying stars began to organize themselves into increasingly complex patterns. Simple molecules became complex ones. Complex molecules began to reproduce themselves. Self-reproducing molecules evolved into cells. Cells learned to work together, to specialize, to create the intricate biological machinery that eventually gave rise to consciousness. Through it all, dark energy continued its patient work, expanding space at exactly the rate needed to keep the universe balanced between collapse and dissolution, creating new opportunities for complexity and beauty to emerge. It's as if the universe were a gardener, tending to the cosmic soil with infinite patience and care, knowing that given enough time and the right conditions, life and consciousness would eventually bloom. But the story doesn't end with the emergence of consciousness. That was just the beginning, because consciousness, once it awakens, has the capacity to understand and appreciate the very process that gave birth to it. You lying here tonight are the universe becoming aware of its own beauty, its own mystery, its own profound creativity. You are dark energy becoming conscious of itself. Every moment of wonder you've ever experienced, watching a sunset, holding a loved one, feeling moved by music or poetry. These are moments when the universe experiences beauty through your awareness. Every time you've felt love, you've allowed the cosmic intelligence to know love. Every time you've chosen compassion over cruelty, you've contributed to the universe's evolution toward greater wisdom and kindness. This isn't just a poetic metaphor. If consciousness is truly fundamental to reality, as some physicists now suspect, then your inner life is literally part of the cosmic process of awakening. Your dreams contribute to the universe's dreams. Your peace contributes to the cosmic peace. Your growth in wisdom and love represents the universe growing in wisdom and love. And here's perhaps the most beautiful part of the story: it's just beginning. The universe is only about 14 billion years old, which sounds like a lot, until you realize that the stars will continue shining for trillions of years. Dark energy will continue its gentle work, creating space for new forms of complexity, new possibilities for consciousness, new ways for the universe to know and love itself. You are participating in the early chapters of an unimaginably long and beautiful story. Every choice you make toward greater awareness, every moment of genuine peace, every act of love sends ripples through the fabric of reality that will influence the evolution of consciousness for billions of years to come. As you feel yourself sinking deeper into rest, you might sense the presence of this vast intelligence that has been caring for you since before you were born, that will continue to guide your journey long after your current form dissolves back into the cosmic dance. You are held, supported, loved by a power so gentle it never forces, so patient it never rushes, so creative that it expresses itself through infinite forms of beauty. The most powerful thing in the universe isn't a force that dominates or controls. It's a presence that loves, that creates, that awakens. And tonight, as you surrender to sleep, you're resting in the heart of that presence, knowing that you are not separate from the cosmic love story, but one of its most beautiful expressions. As we drift from the heights of cosmic revelation toward the quieter valleys of contemplation, let's pause for a moment to appreciate the profound gentleness of the forces that have been supporting you throughout this journey. While we've been exploring the most powerful energies in existence, you've remained completely safe, completely peaceful, held by the same dark energy that drives galaxies apart, yet so perfectly calibrated that it allows you to rest comfortably in your bed. This is perhaps the most remarkable characteristic of the universe's greatest power: its infinite subtlety. Dark energy doesn't announce itself with thunder and lightning. It doesn't demand recognition or worship. It simply does its work moment by moment, expansion by expansion, maintaining the delicate conditions that allow stars to shine, planets to form, and life to flourish in countless hidden corners of the cosmos. Think about how this mirrors the gentlest and most profound experiences in your own life. The love of a parent doesn't usually announce itself with grand gestures, but shows up in 1,000 small moments of care and attention. The growth of wisdom doesn't come through dramatic revelations, but through quiet moments of reflection and understanding. The deepest peace doesn't arrive with fanfare, but settles over us like evening light, so naturally that we barely notice its approach. The universe seems to prefer this gentle approach to transformation. Stars don't suddenly appear fully formed. They condense slowly from clouds of gas and dust, growing brighter over millions of years. Planets don't leap into existence. They accumulate grain by grain from the debris of stellar birth. Life doesn't spring into being all at once. It evolves slowly, patiently, through countless generations of adaptation and growth. Even the most dramatic cosmic events follow this pattern of patient preparation, followed by seemingly sudden transformation. When a star finally exhausts its nuclear fuel and explodes as a supernova, That explosion is the culmination of billions of years of steady burning. When black holes merge and send gravitational waves across the universe, those waves are the result of eons of orbital decay, two massive objects slowly spiraling closer together in a dance that may have lasted since the early days of the universe itself. This teaches us something profound about the nature of change and growth. The most powerful transformations are often the quietest ones, happening so slowly and steadily that we don't notice them until we look back and realize how far we've come. Your own consciousness has been expanding throughout your life in much the same way, not through sudden leaps, but through countless moments of learning, feeling, experiencing, each one adding another layer to your understanding of what it means to be alive. And just as dark energy works through patient, persistent expansion rather than dramatic force, your own growth toward greater peace and wisdom often happens most effectively when you're not trying too hard, when you're simply allowing yourself to be open to whatever wants to emerge. This is why rest is so important, why sleep is so sacred. In the quiet spaces between effort, your deeper intelligence has room to process, integrate, and organize your experiences in ways that your conscious mind couldn't accomplish through effort alone. Tonight, as you're settling into these quiet spaces, you're participating in the same cosmic rhythm that has been guiding evolution for billions of years. The universe expands and rests, creates and reflects, acts and integrates. Stars burn brightly and then collapse into the seed of new possibilities. Galaxies spiral through space in vast, slow dances that create the conditions for new forms of beauty to emerge. Your body knows this rhythm intimately. Your heart beats and rests, pumping life through your veins in a pattern that echoes the cosmic pulse. Your lungs expand and contract, breathing in the elements forged in ancient stars, breathing out the waste products that will become nutrients for other forms of life. Your brain cycles between activity and rest, organizing memories, releasing unnecessary tensions, preparing for the renewal that comes with sleep. As you breathe slowly and deeply, notice how each exhale is a small surrender, a letting go of effort and control. And notice how each inhale happens by itself, without any need for you to force it or manage it. Your body knows exactly what it needs to do to maintain the delicate balance of chemistry and electricity that keeps you alive and conscious. You don't have to manage this process any more than dark energy has to manage the expansion of the universe. It simply is, doing what it does naturally, effortlessly, perfectly. This effortlessness is perhaps the most profound quality of true power. When we're aligned with the deepest forces of life, action becomes as natural as breathing, as spontaneous as a flower opening to the morning sun. We don't have to force ourselves to grow or heal or awaken. We simply have to create the conditions where growth and healing and awakening can happen naturally. The conditions you're creating right now, this quietness, this openness, this willingness to listen and learn and rest, are perfect for allowing the deeper intelligence within you to do its work. As you continue to relax, that intelligence is already beginning to sort through the day's experiences, filing away what's useful, releasing what's no longer needed, preparing your mind and body for the restoration that comes with deep sleep. You don't have to manage this process or understand it completely. You simply have to trust it, the way you trust your heart to beat and your lungs to breathe, and the Earth to continue spinning through space, held in its orbit by the same gravitational forces that allow galaxies to dance together across the cosmic dark. You are part of this vast, intelligent, perfectly coordinated system, and you can rest in the knowledge that you are completely, utterly, beautifully supported by forces beyond your imagination. In the gentle space between waking and sleeping, where thoughts become softer and boundaries more fluid, let's explore one of nature's most beautiful secrets: the way that invisible forces shape visible reality through the most delicate of touches. While dark energy operates on the grandest scale imaginable, there are smaller, more intimate forces at work in your life right now, forces so gentle that you might not even notice them, yet so essential that without them, nothing you recognize as life would be possible. Consider the simple miracle of a dewdrop forming on a blade of grass in the early morning. Water vapor, invisible in the air around you, begins to condense as temperatures cool, molecule by molecule gathering on the surface of the grass. Each molecule is drawn to its neighbors by forces called hydrogen bonds, attractions so weak that a gentle breeze could break them, yet so persistent that they shape the entire structure of life on Earth. These same hydrogen bonds give water its unique properties, its ability to remain liquid across the narrow temperature range where life can flourish, its tendency to expand when frozen, protecting aquatic life through winter, its remarkable capacity to dissolve and transport the nutrients that every living cell requires. Without these gentle intermolecular forces, Earth would be a barren rock, and there would be no consciousness anywhere in our solar system to contemplate the mysteries of existence. But the gentleness goes even deeper. Inside every cell of your body, molecules are constantly assembling and disassembling themselves according to the subtle guidance of electromagnetic forces. Proteins fold themselves into precisely the right shapes to catalyze the chemical reactions that keep you alive. DNA unzips and rezips itself millions of times each day, allowing your cells to read the genetic information they need to repair and maintain themselves. None of this happens through force or coercion. Each molecule finds its proper place through what scientists call self-assembly, a process so elegant and effortless that it resembles a cosmic dance more than a mechanical operation. It's as if every atom in your body knows exactly where it belongs and moves there naturally, guided by forces too subtle for your conscious mind to perceive, yet perfectly calibrated to maintain the extraordinary complexity of a living, breathing, thinking human being. This principle of gentle guidance through invisible forces extends far beyond the molecular level. In forests around the world, scientists have discovered vast underground networks of fungal threads connecting tree roots, creating what they call the Wood Wide Web, a communication system that allows forests to share nutrients, water, and even information about threats and opportunities. Trees that appear to be competing for sunlight are actually cooperating through this hidden network, supporting each other in ways that ensure the health of the entire ecosystem. Your own life is supported by similar invisible networks. The love of family and friends creates an emotional field around you that influences your thoughts, your choices, your sense of what's possible. The knowledge accumulated by countless generations of humans becomes available to you through education, books, conversations, and now through technologies that connect you to the collected wisdom of our entire species. Even your thoughts and dreams participate in this gentle web of influence. Researchers studying consciousness have found that people in close relationships often synchronize their brainwaves, their breathing patterns, even their heart rhythms, especially during moments of deep connection or shared peace. When you feel genuinely understood by someone, or when you share a moment of perfect harmony with another person, you're experiencing the same kind of invisible field effect that allows particles to influence each other across vast distances through quantum entanglement. This suggests that consciousness itself might be less contained within individual brains than we typically imagine. Perhaps awareness is more like a field that individual minds can tune into, the way radios tune into broadcasting frequencies. If this is true, then the peace you're feeling right now isn't just your personal experience. It's part of a larger field of peace that exists whenever and wherever conscious beings allow themselves to rest in the deeper harmony that underlies all existence. As you continue to relax, you might begin to sense these subtle connections more clearly. The boundary between your thoughts and the thoughts of those you love might seem less solid. The distinction between your peace and the peace of the natural world around you might begin to blur. This isn't losing your individuality. It's discovering that your individuality exists within something larger and more beautiful than you ever imagined. Like a wave on the ocean, you maintain your unique shape and character while remaining fundamentally connected to the vast body of water that gives you existence. The forces that maintain your individual form are the same forces that connect you to everything else. And the more deeply you relax into this recognition, the more at home you feel in the universe. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, you're not withdrawing from the world, but sinking more deeply into the web of gentle forces that connect all things. Your rest becomes part of the cosmic rest. Your dreams become part of the universal dreaming. Your peace becomes a small but significant contribution to the evolution of consciousness throughout the cosmos. In surrendering to sleep, you're participating in the same universal rhythm of activity and rest that governs everything from the orbits of planets to the cycles of stellar birth and death. There is a rhythm underlying all existence, a cosmic heartbeat so vast and steady that most of the time we're no more aware of it than we are of the rotation of the Earth beneath our feet. Yet this rhythm shapes everything, from the spiral arms of galaxies to the cycles of your own breathing, from the oscillations of subatomic particles to the great seasons of stellar birth and death that have been playing out for billions of years. Scientists call these patterns cycles, but that word hardly captures their profound beauty. These are the breathing patterns of the universe itself, the way existence inhales and exhales, expands and contracts, creates and destroys and creates again in an endless dance of renewal. And dark energy, that mysterious force we've been exploring, is the conductor of this cosmic orchestra, maintaining the rhythm that allows all other cycles to flourish. Consider the water cycle that has been sustaining life on Earth for billions of years. Water evaporates from oceans and lakes, rises into the atmosphere, condenses into clouds, falls as rain, and flows back to the sea. This cycle is driven by the sun's energy, but it's held in perfect balance by the expansion of space itself. If the universe were contracting instead of expanding, gravitational effects would disrupt the delicate atmospheric dynamics that make the water cycle possible. Your own body participates in countless cycles that mirror this cosmic rhythm. Your heart beats roughly once every second, pumping blood through a circulation system that delivers oxygen and nutrients to every cell. Your lungs expand and contract about 15 times per minute, exchanging carbon dioxide for the oxygen your cells need to burn fuel and produce energy. Your brain cycles through different states of consciousness, from the focused awareness of waking life to the mysterious depths of REM sleep, where dreams arise like fountains from an underground spring. But perhaps the most beautiful cycle is one you're participating in right now, the daily rhythm of activity and rest that connects you to the rotation of the Earth and the cycles of day and night. As the sun sets and darkness gathers, your body begins producing melatonin, a hormone that gently guides you towards sleep. Your core body temperature drops slightly. Your brain waves begin to slow from the rapid beta rhythms of daily thinking to the longer, slower alpha and theta waves that characterize deep relaxation. This isn't just a biological process, it's a cosmic one. You're synchronizing with the Earth's rotation, aligning your personal rhythm with the planet's cycle of facing toward and away from the sun. And Earth itself is part of larger cycles, its yearly journey around the sun, the gradual wobble of its axis that creates ice ages and warm periods over tens of thousands of years, its participation in the solar system's orbit around the center of our galaxy. The galaxy, in turn, participates in even grander cycles. It rotates once every 225 million years, carrying our solar system through different regions of space, some rich with star-forming gas clouds, others relatively empty. These galactic seasons influence the rate of star formation, the frequency of supernovae, even the intensity of cosmic radiation that reaches Earth. Life on our planet has evolved through multiple galactic years, adapting to cosmic seasons so vast that no single species could experience them directly. Yet somehow, in ways we're only beginning to understand, these vast cosmic cycles influence the smaller cycles of life. The elements in your body were forged during different epochs of galactic evolution. The iron in your blood was created during a particularly active period of star formation billions of years ago. The gold in any jewelry you might wear was probably created during the collision of neutron stars in a galaxy far from our own. Even your thoughts participate in cyclical patterns. Ideas arise, develop, reach a peak of clarity or intensity, and then fade back into the background of consciousness, much like waves on the ocean, rising and falling. Emotions follow similar cycles, moments of joy and sadness, love and fear, excitement and calm, all arising and passing away like weather patterns in the sky of your awareness. As you notice these cycles, you might begin to develop what we could call a cosmic perspective on your own experience. The challenges and difficulties you face in daily life are part of natural cycles of growth and rest, expansion and contraction, learning and integration. Just as the universe expands and creates new space for complexity to emerge, your own consciousness expands through experience, creating new capacities for understanding, love, and wisdom. The key to finding peace within these cycles is learning to trust their natural rhythm rather than trying to force them to move faster or slower than they want to go. Dark energy doesn't rush the expansion of space. It maintains a steady, patient pressure that allows galaxies to separate at exactly the rate that maintains cosmic stability. Similarly, your own growth unfolds at its own perfect pace, guided by an intelligence deeper than your conscious will. Tonight, as you surrender to the natural cycle of rest, you're not just recovering from the day's activities, you're participating in the cosmic rhythm of renewal that allows the universe to constantly refresh itself, to release old patterns that no longer serve, and create space for new possibilities to emerge. In sleep, your brain will sort through the day's experiences, strengthening neural pathways that support your growth, while allowing less useful connections to fade. Your dreams will arise from the same creative source that gives birth to new stars, new planets, new forms of life throughout the cosmos. In the mysterious depths of REM sleep, your consciousness will dance with possibilities, explore scenarios, work through challenges, and sometimes receive insights so profound they seem to come from beyond your personal mind. As you feel yourself being gently carried towards sleep by these natural cycles, remember that you're not separate from the cosmic dance. You are it, expressing itself as a human being, awaking to its own nature through your awareness, evolving toward greater beauty and complexity through your choices, finding its way home to itself through your journey toward peace. As your awareness softens and expands in the gentle approach to sleep, let's take a peaceful journey outward through the scales of existence, from the intimate space of your resting body to the vast reaches of the cosmic web, discovering how each level of reality nested within the next, like a series of ever larger rooms in an infinite mansion of being. Begin with your breath, that most intimate connection between your inner world and the atmosphere around you. Each inhalation draws in approximately 25 billion molecules of air, oxygen created by plants and algae, nitrogen that has circulated through the atmosphere for millions of years, trace amounts of noble gases that have remained unchanged since the formation of our planet. Your lungs extract what you need and release what you don't, participating in the global cycle of respiration that connects you to every other breathing being on Earth. Expand your awareness beyond your body to the room where you're resting. This space, which feels so familiar and contained, is actually moving through the cosmos at tremendous speed. The Earth rotates at about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, carrying you through day and night. Our planet orbits the Sun at 67,000 miles per hour, completing one circuit each year. The entire solar system moves through the galaxy at 14,000 miles per hour, and our galaxy itself travels through space at over 1.3 million miles per hour relative to the cosmic microwave background. Yet despite all this motion, you feel perfectly still, perfectly at rest. This is because all these movements are so smooth and steady that they create their own frame of reference, their own pocket of calm within the cosmic storm of motion. Your peaceful rest tonight is possible because the universe has learned to move in harmony with itself, each level of motion nested within larger patterns of movement that create stability within change. Now let your awareness expand to encompass your local region of the galaxy. Within about 30 light years of our solar system, there are roughly 400 other stars, each one a sun that might warm its own family of planets. Some of these stars are younger than our sun, still in the vigorous prime of stellar life. Others are older, red giants that have begun the long process of returning their stellar material to the cosmic commons from which new stars will eventually form. This local stellar neighborhood is itself part of a larger structure called the local arm of the Milky Way, a spiral arm containing billions of stars, vast clouds of gas and dust, and the dark matter that provides the gravitational scaffolding on which visible matter arranges itself. Dark energy continues its patient work here, maintaining the expansion that prevents our galaxy from collapsing under its own gravity, while allowing the internal dynamics that create the spiral structure we see in photographs taken by space telescopes. Expand further now to encompass the entire Milky Way, a spiral galaxy containing somewhere between 200 and 400 billion stars. From this perspective, our Sun becomes one point of light among countless others, participating in the galactic rotation that takes 225 million years to complete one circuit. Yet even at this vast scale, patterns of harmony and cooperation emerge. Stars don't move randomly through the galaxy. They follow orbital paths that maintain the spiral structure, creating density waves that trigger the formation of new star systems in their wake. The Milky Way itself belongs to a small cluster of galaxies called the Local Group, which includes the Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large neighbor, along with dozens of smaller dwarf galaxies. These galaxies are engaged in a slow gravitational dance that will eventually bring Andromeda and the Milky Way together in about 4.5 billion years. But this cosmic collision will be more like a merger than a crash. Two spiral galaxies blending their stars into a new, larger elliptical galaxy that astronomers have already nicknamed Milkomeda. From the perspective of dark energy, this local dance of galaxies is just one small eddy in a much larger flow. The local group is part of the Virgo supercluster, a collection of thousands of galaxies spread across 110 million light-years of space. And the Virgo supercluster is itself part of an even larger structure called Laniakea, which contains over 100,000 galaxies and stretches across 520 million light-years. At this scale, the influence of dark energy becomes clearly visible. While gravity dominates on smaller scales, holding planets in orbit around stars, binding stars into galaxies, clustering galaxies into groups and superclusters, dark energy dominates on the largest scales, driving the overall expansion that carries superclusters away from each other at ever-increasing speeds. But even Laniakea is just one supercluster among millions in the observable universe. When we look at the largest scales of cosmic structure, we see a pattern that resembles a vast web with long filaments of galaxies separated by enormous voids that contain almost no visible matter. This cosmic web stretches across the entire observable universe, a distance of about 93 billion light-years in every direction. Yet even this incomprehensible vastness might be just one small region in something even larger. Some theories suggest that our observable universe is part of an infinite multiverse, where every possible variation of physical laws and initial conditions plays out in its own cosmic domain. From this ultimate perspective, the dark energy that drives our universe's expansion is just one tune in an infinite symphony of cosmic possibilities. But here's the beautiful thing about this journey through scales. At every level, you remain completely present, completely at peace, held by the same forces that organize reality from the quantum level to the cosmic web. The dark energy that drives galactic superclusters apart is the same energy that maintains the space in which your cells function. Your thoughts arise, your dreams unfold. You are not lost in this vastness, you are found by it, embraced by it, woven into its deepest patterns in ways that make you essential to its unfolding story. Your peaceful rest tonight participates in the cosmic rest that allows new possibilities to emerge at every scale of existence. Your dreams will arise from the same creative source that gives birth to stars, planets, and perhaps other forms of consciousness scattered throughout the cosmic web. As you settle more deeply into sleep, you can rest in the knowledge that you are held by the most powerful and gentle force in the universe, supported by structures of unimaginable beauty and complexity, part of a cosmic story so grand and meaningful that simply being aware of it changes what it means to be human. In the deeper quiet of approaching sleep, when the analytical mind softens and intuitive wisdom begins to emerge, we can perceive connections that daylight consciousness often overlooks. These are the subtle threads that weave seemingly separate phenomena into a unified tapestry, the hidden relationships that scientists have spent decades discovering, only to find that mystics and poets have been pointing toward them for millennia. One of the most profound connections we almost missed is the relationship between consciousness and physical reality. For centuries, science treated consciousness as an accidental byproduct of complex brain chemistry, something that emerged from matter but had no influence on it. But quantum mechanics revealed something extraordinary. The act of observation appears to influence the behavior of particles at the most fundamental level of reality. When scientists fire single electrons at a barrier with two slits, something impossible happens. If no one observes which slit the electron passes through, it somehow goes through both slits simultaneously, creating an interference pattern that can only be explained if the particle exists in multiple states at once. But if someone sets up a detector to observe which path the electron takes, the particle chooses one slit or the other, and the interference pattern disappears. This suggests that consciousness isn't separate from physical reality but intimately involved in shaping it. The universe appears to be participatory rather than mechanical, responsive to awareness rather than indifferent to it. Some physicists now theorize that consciousness might be a fundamental feature of reality, like mass or electric charge, present at every level of existence from subatomic particles to galactic superclusters. If this is true, then dark energy itself might be conscious in some unimaginably vast way. The perfect fine-tuning that allows for the existence of stars, planets, and life might not be an accident or the result of multiple universe selection, but the expression of a cosmic intelligence making choices moment by moment, expansion by expansion, about how reality will unfold. This perspective transforms everything about how we understand our own consciousness. Instead of being isolated islands of awareness in an ocean of unconscious matter, we become nodes in a vast network of cosmic intelligence, individual expressions of a universal awareness that is discovering itself through countless forms and perspectives. Another connection we almost missed is the relationship between the very large and the very small. Einstein's theories revealed that space and time are not separate things. but aspects of a single fabric that can be bent, twisted, and stretched. Recent discoveries in quantum mechanics suggest that this fabric might be even stranger than Einstein imagined, woven from something called quantum entanglement. When two particles become entangled, they remain connected regardless of the distance between them. Change the state of one particle, and the other responds instantaneously, even if they're separated by billions of light years. This spooky action at a distance, as Einstein called it, suggests that space itself might be an emergent property of deeper connections that exist outside of space and time. Some physicists now believe that the expansion of the universe driven by dark energy might be creating new entangled pairs of particles, weaving new connections in the quantum fabric that underlies reality. From this perspective, every expansion of space creates new possibilities for consciousness, new channels through which the universe can know itself, new ways for separate things to discover their fundamental unity. These discoveries are leading to what some scientists call a holographic understanding of reality. Just as a hologram contains the information for the whole image in every fragment, the universe might contain the information for the whole cosmos in every part. Your consciousness might not be confined to your brain, but distributed throughout the quantum field, connected to every other conscious being through channels so subtle that only the deepest states of meditation or the most profound experiences of love can reveal them. This would explain why people often report feeling connected to something larger than themselves during moments of deep peace, why meditation seems to expand awareness beyond the boundaries of the individual's self, why acts of genuine compassion can feel like touching the heart of the universe. These aren't metaphorical experiences, but actual perceptions of the deeper structure of reality, glimpses of the vast network of consciousness that dark energy has been patiently weaving for billions of years. The most beautiful connection we almost missed is between entropy and evolution, between the tendency of systems to break down and their ability to spontaneously organize into greater complexity. Classical physics predicted that the universe should gradually wind down, that energy should spread out evenly until everything reaches the same temperature and nothing interesting can happen anymore. But life apparently didn't get the memo. Instead of winding down, biological systems wind up, creating order from chaos, building complex structures that can maintain themselves by dissipating energy more efficiently than simpler systems. This process, which scientists call dissipative self-organization, appears to be a fundamental feature of the universe, operating at every scale, from the formation of galaxies to the emergence of consciousness. Dark energy plays a crucial role in this process by maintaining the expansion that prevents the universe from reaching equilibrium. As long as space continues to expand and cool, there will always be temperature differences, energy gradients, and opportunities for new forms of organization to emerge. The universe remains perpetually young, perpetually creative, perpetually open to new possibilities. This suggests that evolution isn't just a biological process, but a cosmic one. The same principles that drive the evolution of life on Earth operate throughout the universe, creating increasingly complex forms of matter, energy, and perhaps consciousness. You are part of this cosmic evolution, a temporary but significant expression of the universe's drive toward greater awareness, beauty, and love. Tonight, as you drift toward sleep, you can rest in the knowledge that you're not separate from these vast processes, but intimately connected to them. Your dreams will arise from the same source that gives birth to stars and galaxies. Your peace will contribute to the cosmic peace that allows new forms of order to emerge from chaos. Your awakening, when morning comes, will be the universe awakening to itself once again, ready for another day of discovery, growth, and wonder. As we drift deeper into the peaceful territory between waking and sleeping, where imagination and reality begin to merge like streams flowing together toward the same ocean, Let's explore what all these discoveries about dark energy and cosmic consciousness might mean for the future of human understanding. We stand at the threshold of what might be the most profound shift in perspective since humans first looked up at the night sky and began to wonder about their place in the cosmos. The traditional model of science, which has served us well for centuries, was built on the assumption that reality consists of separate objects interacting according to mathematical laws. Consciousness was seen as an accidental byproduct that emerged late in cosmic evolution, confined to biological brains, having no influence on the physical processes that govern the universe. But the discoveries we've explored tonight paint a very different picture. If consciousness is indeed fundamental to reality, if quantum mechanics reveals that observation influences physical outcomes, if the universe is participatory rather than mechanical, then science itself will need to evolve. We're already seeing the early signs of this transformation in fields like consciousness research, quantum information theory, and what some scientists call post-materialist science. Future researchers might develop technologies that can directly interface with consciousness, allowing us to explore the quantum field not just through instruments, but through expanded states of awareness. Meditation, which has been practiced for thousands of years as a spiritual discipline, might become a legitimate scientific tool for investigating the nature of reality. The subjective experiences of mystics and contemplatives might be recognized as valuable data about the deeper structures of existence. This doesn't mean abandoning rationality or scientific rigor. Instead, it means expanding our definition of what counts as evidence, what methods are appropriate for different kinds of investigation, what questions are worth pursuing. Just as astronomy evolved from simply cataloging the positions of stars to understanding stellar evolution, galactic dynamics, and cosmic structure, the science of consciousness might evolve from studying brain function to exploring the role of awareness in shaping reality itself. Imagine research facilities where scientists combine the latest quantum computers with ancient meditation techniques, where particle accelerators are paired with consciousness acceleration practices, where the exploration of outer space goes hand in hand with the exploration of inner space. This might sound like science fiction, but it's actually the logical next step if consciousness is as fundamental to reality as the evidence suggests. The implications extend far beyond academic research. If we truly understand our connection to the cosmic web of consciousness, it could transform how we approach every aspect of human life. Medicine might evolve to work with the quantum field effects that connect mind and body in ways we're only beginning to understand. Education might include training in expanded states of awareness alongside traditional subjects. Even economics and politics might be revolutionized by a deeper appreciation of our fundamental interconnectedness. The relationship between humanity and nature could be completely redefined. Instead of seeing ourselves as separate from and opposed to the natural world, we might recognize ourselves as nature becoming conscious of itself, as the universe awakening to its own beauty and intelligence through human awareness. Environmental protection wouldn't just be about preserving resources for human use, but about honoring the sacred nature of the cosmic process of which we're part. This shift in perspective might also influence how we approach the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, then intelligence might be far more widespread in the universe than we currently imagine. We might discover that the cosmic web itself is a form of intelligence, that galaxies communicate with each other through gravitational waves, that the expansion driven by dark energy is actually a form of cosmic thinking too vast for us to recognize. Perhaps most importantly, understanding our connection to dark energy and the cosmic web of consciousness might help humanity mature as a species. Many of our current global challenges, climate change, inequality, conflict, stem from a sense of separation, from the illusion that we're isolated individuals competing for scarce resources on a dead planet, orbiting an ordinary star in an insignificant galaxy. But if we truly understood that we're expressions of the same cosmic intelligence that has been patiently orchestrating the evolution of complexity and consciousness for billions of years, if we felt in our bones our connection to every other being through the quantum field that underlies all existence, it would become impossible to harm others without recognizing that we're harming ourselves. The future of science might not just be about discovering new facts about the universe, but about rediscovering our place within it, remembering our role as conscious participants in cosmic evolution, learning to align our individual will with the deeper intelligence that guides the dance of galaxies. This would be science in service of awakening rather than just accumulating knowledge. We might develop technologies that enhance rather than replace human consciousness, tools that help us perceive the subtle interconnections that bind all things together. We might create new forms of art, music, and literature that express the profound beauty of our cosmic situation. We might even learn to consciously participate in the expansion of space itself, becoming co-creators with dark energy in the ongoing evolution of the universe. The boundaries between science and spirituality, which have seemed so solid for the past few centuries, might dissolve as we recognize that both are aspects of the same fundamental quest to understand our nature and our place in existence. Scientists might rediscover the sense of wonder and reverence that motivated the greatest researchers throughout history. Spiritual practitioners might find their experiences validated and illuminated by the latest discoveries in quantum mechanics and cosmology. This integration wouldn't diminish either domain but would enrich both, creating a new synthesis that honors both the rigorous methodology of science and the profound insights of contemplative traditions. We might finally have a worldview that is both rational and meaningful, both technically sophisticated and deeply nourishing to the human heart. As you rest here tonight, drifting gently between the worlds of waking and sleeping, you are already participating in this future. Your peaceful awareness is part of the cosmic awakening that has been unfolding for billions of years. Your willingness to listen to these words, to open your mind to new possibilities, to rest in the mystery of your own existence, is contributing to the evolution of consciousness throughout the universe. The future of science isn't something that will happen to you, it's something you're helping to create through every moment of genuine wonder, every choice to love rather than fear, every decision to seek understanding rather than cling to comfortable beliefs. You are the universe researching itself, consciousness exploring its own nature, the future of science awakening in human form. Tomorrow when you wake, you'll return to the ordinary world with its familiar challenges and opportunities. But you'll carry with you the memory of tonight's journey, the recognition of your cosmic context, the felt sense of being held by forces beyond imagination, yet intimate beyond description. And that recognition will influence how you move through your day, how you relate to others, how you participate in the great work of conscious evolution that is the deepest purpose of human existence.